Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Koffers News Live. I am your host, Chris Eaton, and joining me, as always, is my common Kaiser compatriot, the man who knows toys as well as I do, sir.
My name's Ariane. Welcome in. Good morning, guys. Thanks for coming in so early.
And today it's a little different. We're talking about a very specific toy. So this is we're doing something new. We got two great gentlemen with us who run Seismic Toys, right? Okay. So guys, introduce yourselves to people who might not know who you are.
Take it away, Chris.
I'm Chris Olio. I'm one of the co-founders of Seismic.
And I'm Alex Rushdie, the other half of Seismic, the colder northern Canadian half of Seismic.
So, gentlemen, you have a Kickstarter campaign going on right now for a very awesome figure for us Tokusatsu fans. This is a little bit of a deep cuts, but it's amazing. Chris, what do you guys have cooking right now?
So currently, we are on Kickstarter for The Last Dinosaur, and anybody that is a dinosaur movie fan, a Kaiju fan, Tokusatsu fan, will remember this fondly. Like you said, it is a film that is a deep cut, but it is one that is beloved by so many. I know for myself, The Last Dinosaur was a film that I read about in magazines, and it took me a long time to track it down in the early 2000s, but I've been in love with the movie since I saw it, and we are lucky enough to be bringing this dinosaur back from extinction.
Now, for those who haven't seen it, it's Last Dinosaur. This is a Tsuburaya production. This was a co-production, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, with Rankin Bass.
Rankin, the good people who brought you Rudolph and Frosty. They're in big business of making giant monster movies back in the day. So, for those who might not have seen it, quick.
What are you doing? Why haven't you seen it? Like, let's stop the video right now and go watch it. Come on.
Yeah, go watch it. Leave and go watch the movie and come back.
Yes. Well, first off, as Chris said, this was a little bit of a hard movie to track down. I didn't see this film myself until I was like 17, and it aired like at 3 a.m. on my local KTLA station out here in LA. And I specifically recorded it because, this is 99, 2000. The internet was not what it is. And DVDs definitely were not what they are today. So got to sit there at the wee hours of the morning watching it's Richard
Boone, yeah.
Richard Boone, big game hunt a T-Rex. Yeah. It's the coolest concept, honestly, and it's something I think that could be remade today if they really wanted to do it. It's a fantastic. Think of Muldoon in Jurassic Park if he was a bit more
alcoholic.
Yeah, that puts it correctly. But it's got fantastic suit effects by Tsuburaya. It's one of the craziest dinosaur fights in it. It's kind of a bloody affair. It's a little bit of Edgar Rice Burroughs with some Japanese flair in it. So it's an amazing movie. And the T-Rex, that Tsuburaya made use of that T-Rex suit over and over again as well. So I'm happy to see you guys are bringing this guy who's I know he has a bit of a cult following, especially if you're at G-Fest. And when I've actually seen people wearing a Last Dinosaur shirt at Comic-Con. So the notoriety of the movie is gaining. So what brings you guys around to producing this figure?
I mean, honestly, I think the first and the main reason behind this was just that Chris and I both love the film and have loved it for a long time. Like, it's one of those cult movies where anyone who I know who's seen it loves it, and a lot more people than I would expect have seen it. Even though it's totally a cult movie. I mean, it aired on ABC primetime back in 77. So there's a lot of people who grew up with this movie. And then, of course, on VHS and, eventually on DVD and on TV airings. So for us, it was just like, we've loved this movie. We really love this suit design and this character. And the pieces kind of started to fall together, where we knew Dope Pope had already like done an initial sculpt of the character. We were already friends with Dope Pope. We were working with him on some other figures, and we were already working with Tsuburaya, and we were like, hey, maybe we can ask about Last Dinosaur. Maybe we can do this, because it's one of those figures where so many people love the character, but there isn't really, like, I know M1 did a figure that's really hard to find and very expensive. It was Japan only though, and then I think Cast did some like little models of it, also very hard to find. And we were like, I think people want like an X Plus style 30 centimeter Last Dinosaur, and I think we could do it. So that started the no joke 8-month search for the license. And,
Wow. Wow.
I had to call around the world to find the license. Finally found it, secured it, and then we were kind of off to the races. It took a little longer than expected because of the tariff situation and uncertainty in production and stuff like that. But we finally got it all figured out. And, I was, like I said, like I wasn't sure what this would do on Kickstarter. We wanted to do Kickstarter because we thought, we can reach an audience outside of our usual Seismic fans and get people excited about the production of the toy and all that kind of stuff. And we didn't expect to get like fully funded in the first less than 12 hours. So it's like, yeah, there are fans out there.
Congratulations, by the way. We
sure.
should have started off with congratulations and kickstarting a toy from a movie from the 70s, like obscure of obscure. Like, thank you, fans, for coming out and getting this done in less than a day. You're working. Thank you.
Yeah, for all the Last Dinosaur fans who showed up, like,
huge kudos.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. And it's such a weird film. I mean, like everyone here has seen the movie, but it's such a weird, I don't know, piece of history, because it's really a Rankin Bass joint, like, and they have such a history of working with Japanese companies. I mean, that King Kong Escapes is also, a Rankin Bass joint, and all their animated movies were all animated in Japan. Like, there's such a through line there that leads to movies like this.
I mean, this was, I think, part of. There was another movie, I believe it's called the Bermuda Depths.
Yeah,
that was made around the same time. It might have been part of this package, because that was a made-for-TV movie as well, about a giant sea turtle. And oh god, who was the actor of the week?
Carl Weathers actually was in that.
Who?
Oh, really?
Carl Weathers isn't it? Yeah, young Carl Weathers. Yeah. And Burl Ives and
Burl Ives. That goes back to the root off of it all with the Rankin Bass.
And there was that also had special effects by Tsuburaya Productions. Mm-hmm. And then there was a third film called The Ivory Ape, which is like impossible to find. Like, Last Dinosaur got a DVD release, Bermuda Depths got a DVD and a Blu-ray release. Ivory Ape has not gotten either. And that was the third of the like trilogy of Tsuburaya Rankin Bass movies.
That one, I know, for a lot of video collectors, is kind of like ironically a white whale of sorts, because the copies that are out there are absolute, like, it's like picking up like a comic book that's been read like 5,000 times. It's like 19th generation. So to find like a clean copy is nigh impossible at the moment.
Yeah.
So and real quick, I'm just curious, because I know, a bit of a nerd on this stuff, and I love Rankin Bass. For those who don't know, like, Rankin Bass's rights are all over the place, because they got split at around, I think, like the mid 70s. So anything produced before went to one section, and anything afterwards, I think Warner Brothers owns. So is that part of the problem of tracking down the rights with this?
So that was an initial issue, but those are the rights for like the film distribution. Mm-hmm. Merchandise rights are an entirely different can of worms. So, because I contacted Warner Brothers and I was like, hey, like, you guys have this, right? Like, must be you guys. And they were like, 100% not us. Mm-hmm. We don't have the merchandise rights. And I was like, okay. Well, Tsuburaya, maybe they have it. And they were like, we have it only in Japan. Great. What about Toho? Toho distributed the movie in Japan. Do they have it? And they're like, absolutely not. We don't have anything. And so I was like, what? Like, I was sent on a wild goose chase. And what ended up happening is Arthur Rankin Jr. himself ended up owning the vast majority of the merchandise rights to a lot of these works. Some specific characters were even owned by their character designers. Like I think Frosty was actually by the guy who designed Frosty. He's like, I've actually got the rights to that now. So we found out that after, before he passed, he passed on all those rights to the Rankin Bass official biographer, who actually runs the Rankin Bass archives, and so that's where it's held.
Oh wow! Okay.
It took a long time. I kid you not, I had to do some like, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There's that image of like Pepe Silva and he's pointing at all things. I had to do that. I had to find and purchase a book, leaf through the book, find the names and contact info of someone, like call them, and then eventually I was able to figure out, okay, I got to the top. I found the guy, and it was fun. It was an exciting day.
When you were pitching this, did you tell him your whole journey, or was it like, let's not let's be more professional?
The first thing I did is I was like, do you have the merchandise rights to this? And he was like, oh yeah, of course. And I've got this box of like archival materials. I can send them to you. And I was like, I found it.
So they were willing. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
It was a Herculean effort on Alex's part. I mean, really, it was a lot of hitting doors, and you finally hit the right one. And again, it was many months of journeying, but
8 months.
And it felt like, man, you hit. Yeah. Excuse me. Ooh, I mean, it felt like you hit pay dirt. Like all that effort. Like once you got there, I mean, the way you tell the story, it seems like they were more than happy to help and willing to work with you. So the fact that they're giving you publicity material too, that had to have felt good. Like that's, the fruits of your labor are paying off.
Oh,
and
it was awesome.
And now you got the Kickstarter fully funded within 12 hours. So you guys got to be feeling pretty great right now, right?
Yeah, it was worth the effort. We're feeling tired, I think. I don't know about you, Chris. Yeah. But it was definitely worth the effort, and I think people appreciate it, which that's why we do this. It makes us happy.
So let's talk about the figure in question. Let me pull it back up here. So as you guys mentioned, the great and powerful, as I refer to him, Dope designed this bad boy, right?
Yes.
So, and you worked with Dope on a couple of figures already, right?
Yeah, we worked with him on Shin Gomez, which is the figure that we did just kind of right behind me there on the shelf. He sculpted this fantastic figure. We'd wanted to work with Dope for a while, and this was sort of the first vehicle that we worked with it, and it was a terrific job. It was a great collaboration. And then we had been talking to him about some other things, and then we also worked with him on Gigantron, which is still currently on pre-order. Right here, he designed this from the Ultraman Rising Netflix movie. But it's funny because I had known him for years, and Alex had known him for years, and when we saw his sculpt for The Last Dinosaur, this had to be, I feel like somewhere around 2020, 2021, he sculpted it, and it was just like, I saw it, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And, we joked with him saying, hey, one day we're gonna make this actually officially licensed. And he was like, hey, I'm game on. Whenever you're ready, let me know. And, again, a few years down the road, it happened. So it's an exciting thing.
Okay, so let's talk about the figure in question. So you mentioned at the top of the show, this is in X plus scale. What are we talking about scale wise?
30 centimeters, a full 30
wow.
centimeters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hold
So
on,
it's the biggest toy we've made by a significant margin.
Wow. Seeing in hand is
that's
different.
That's beautiful.
And then it's got because we hit the stretch goal for the polar borer like within a day again. So it was like I went to bed being like, oh wow, we met the goal. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll record a video, and I'll be like, let's get the stretch goal for the polar borer. By the time I woke up, the stretch goal for the polar borer was already hit. So I was like, okay, great. I guess it's already ready. More stretch goals on the way. So yeah, big. But again, I mean, part of the reason that I love soft vinyl is like it's big, but it's not heavy, and it's so durable. It's a really hard, nice, high quality soft vinyl. So this is actually this isn't a prototype. This is a production sample. So it's already tooled, and this is what you'll be getting when you pick one up.
God,
I
it's
love
gorgeous, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Did you mentioned Dope Pope's initial design? I have seen it. He brought it to a show out here, maybe like a year and a half back. Did you have him make any tweaks to it, or did you guys go straight from that that main design that he had?
We had to make some adjustments. It's interesting because he actually has like, the way he sculpts this is it's he can pose it however he wants. But we quite like the pose, especially like I love the tail. It looks like a floppy foam rubber tail that's being held on strings. Like that's exactly what I want, right? But we had some adjustments made because we had better materials from Rankin Bass, and they sent us these really high resolution photos. Chris went and scanned them all as like TIFF files, so we were able to look in and like we adjusted the pose. A lot of the facial detail got redone. The feet and the dew claws got redone because now we had actual photos of his feet that we could look at, like little details all over. So it's based on that original sculpt, but it was retooled both for accuracy and for like tooling purposes in terms of production. Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
At any point did you guys think to do, because if those who've seen the movie, the suit's a wild suit. It's a little bubbly at times because the way that it's designed, and as you mentioned, the tail is kind of its own character half the time in the film. But it's also the fact that the head is like on this weird kind of pivot too. Yeah, like and the suit was, I believe that suit was reused for Eisenborg as well, was it not?
Yeah.
For King Tyrannus
Mm-hmm.
or Emperor Tyrannus. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I watched Eisenborg. So you can get some weird dynamic poses, but I see you guys went with the beautiful kind of like just standard. Was there any point you're like, we can get a little weird with this? But
we thought about it. We wanted a bit of like a classic pose for at least the first one, and we might do more figures or maybe even a stylized one. But what's neat about it is the reason that the suit could get those weird poses is because the suit actor's arms are operating the head. The arms of Last Dinosaur, the suit, are not being operated by the actor. They're just there. It's kind of like, like Big Bird is, one arm up, but this one, he's got both arms up. So you can actually see in the silhouette, there's a man in here. He's got both arms up here operating the head. And that's like one of my favorite parts of the suit is like no other rubber suit dinosaur has that kind of animated look, right? Where like he can lower his head and hunch over and look up and around, and it's super cool. So yeah, we wanted a bit of a classic pose for this figure, but we wanted to make sure we're accurate to that and all the folds and bubbles and the.
So let's talk about the Kickstarter extensions.
Yeah.
You met the main goal, which is get the figure. Now you got the puller bore. So what's next after that?
So right now we've got an Arctic jungle background diorama. So we've taken a still from the film, and we're going to be working with an artist to convert it into like a really beautiful high-res image that you can fold out and place behind the dinosaur. So he's like in situ. It's kind of like a lot of old toys, at least ones that I grew up with. They would come with like a cardboard insert in the package, and you could slip that out and then prop it up behind the toy.
Love that.
So that's the next thing that we've got. But it's not the only thing. We've got plenty of other stuff.
Anything you can tease?
I will say one of the things is actually announcing what our next like crowdfunding campaign toy will be. It's a different license. And another one, and like, I don't know, people will probably be able to tease this out, but another one is let's just say a variant of this figure that doesn't use the Last Dinosaur license. Maybe it uses another license from another Japanese show, you know? So, who knows? Who knows? So, yeah, some of them are announcements about stuff that'll be coming. Lots of cool stuff to tease and share. I mean, we're only, how many days in are we? 3 days? I think today's the 3rd.
Yeah. This goes until December 6th, actually.
Oh man, so you guys got some time.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, if people are looking to add this to their collection, again, there's not much Last Dinosaur stuff out there, which is, again, partially the inspiration for us to do it, because, you know, we were like, well, we would love to have a figure of it, and let's see if we can do it, you know? So it's half like, well, I'd love to have one in my collection, and you want to have one in your collection, Alex, so let's figure out how to do it together. So if people have missed out, there's still opportunities to get Last Dinosaurs right now and all month of November. Again, as with most of our figures, we don't do them in humongous quantities, so it's one of those things. It's best to jump on it sooner than later.
You don't want FOMO.
Right. No.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Exactly.
I was hoping for a stretch goal where it's an alternate head, but it comes with like a dented head with a rock.
Yeah.
And then
we were joking that, like,
oh yeah,
we should make a mini catapult that you can set up and fling rocks at them.
Yes, you should.
Have you guys thought about any like stick-on dino damage at all?
Oh, like a bloody
we've
variant?
got an idea for a dino damage one. That's a stretch goal. So
like a Jurassic Park like rip off.
Like
it comes
with
off,
a rubber
you can
piece.
see the bones.
Well, again, I know, you know, doing this network of shows and the Kaiju Kingdom podcast, like I've been hammering this on every episode because I'm, you know, in between work, I'm sitting online talking to people, and it's amazing because all of us here, we're kind of old, you know. Alex, I don't know your exact age, but I don't want to make guesses, but
we're in our unk stages of life.
Yes, we are. We're all in the unk
stages. Yeah.
Yes. So we all went through, I would say, the drought. You know, those years where they were lean times, and we all came up in an era when this stuff was like, if you were into this stuff, it was like being in a secret society. Like you had a secret handshake, and you said, you know, the sky is clear, but the floor is slippery. That kind of thing. You're like, okay, you're into monster movies.
Chris, I think this is the first time I've seen talked to 3 other people who've seen this movie. This is crazy that we can reference the rock thing and people would understand.
And you know it too, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
That's
especially outside of a convention setting too. But
right.
even then I've been to, you know, we've all been to G-Fest. Alex, I'm assuming you've been to G-Fest, right?
Yeah, every year.
Okay. And there are even times I will bring stuff up that I think is, you know, should be common knowledge with certain fans, and they just give me that, like, I don't know what you're talking about. And you have to remember that some of us are deeper nerds than casual nerds.
Yeah.
But the fact that you guys have hit this goal this quick, well, it brings such joy to my heart, because it has really shown what, you know, the renaissance that I've been saying that we're in right now. Yeah, as much as, you know, some fans might bemoan the Monsterverse, I'm like, it has done a swath of wonders to opening up this entire world to a completely new generation, which is what it should do. I mean, I have, you know, and Aria knows, in the last year since I moved out here to Texas, I had to par down my collection. So I sold a lot of it to, you know, parents that were looking for stuff for their kids. I had a huge Bandai collection, and there was father and mother. They're like, do you have what's a Jet Jaguar? I'm like, why? How do you know that? And they're like, that's what my kid wants. Do you have a Baragon? I'm like, how does your kid know Baragon? They're like, they watch it on HBO Max. We got the DVDs. I'm like, how old is your kid? 6. I'm like, single tear runs down my eye. But the fact that, like, they're going back and watching the old stuff and they're accepting it, and it's beautiful, which means that the door is open for a lot of this other stuff. If they're willing to accept that, they're willing to accept, some of the more stuff that more film fans might poo-poo a little bit, but we appreciate. So I'm happy to see that this modern audience has kind of openly embraced all of it. And the fact that you guys are selling a Last Dinosaur figure and it's steamrolling right now. Bravo, guys. I want to give you guys full credit. Because
the faith you guys have in the Kaiju collector is, I mean, thank you for that. Thank you for having put out a Last Dinosaur figure. Like, I would have never 10 years ago, I would have never thought like, oh, what would be a figure that would come out in 2025? I don't know. Last Dinosaur, definitely not.
It's low. Yeah. It would have been low on the list, that's for sure.
But high in my heart.
Yes,
top of my heart.
Yeah.
And you guys have a good working relationship with Tsuburaya, as I think Chris pointed out. You have the Gigantotron. Am I butchering that name?
Gigantron, yeah.
Gigantron from Ultraman Rising. Mm-hmm. And you guys have done a few other figures with them as well, have you not?
Yeah, we've done Jiros, this is our first. We have our second one in the back, and we've also done. Well, we have obviously
Sevenger, right?
Gomez and Sevenger, yeah. So Sevenger's another one that we have, and we have some other stuff sitting ready to get baked. Let's just say at some point.
I love that these guys, they have embraced you guys, and it seems. I mean, the fact you guys are doing some deep cut stuff here and there.
Yeah,
like
you're not going with Baltan and Gamora and Ella King. You're going with Sevenger, who shows up in one episode of Leo, and then has his cult following. And you have, Jiros is Jiros, right?
Oh yeah, it was like a no-brainer for our first one. We gotta do it.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, did you? I mean, you had to go through rank and bass, but it sounded like Tsuburaya was gung ho for you guys. At least they were like, yeah, go ahead, kind of thing. With this, so it feels like there's opportunities here for some more deep cut stuff. Is that already now seeing the success of this? Are you guys looking at some other things right now?
Yeah, I mean, the Ultraman's interesting because I would say when it comes to our Ultraman stuff, it can be a bit hard to predict what like North American Ultraman fans will latch onto. Because we don't necessarily want to do the like, everyone's done a Baltan. Like for us, there's some kind of categories that we look at. Like, okay, is there a toy of this character already? Is the toy one that like we think is good? Like one that we'd be like, yeah, I have that in my collection. I think that toy is like handled. And then is it something that like gets us excited? So, Baltan, there's so many Baltans and there's so many cool, unique Baltans that we were like, we don't need to do a Baltan. But like Jiros, there are Jiros toys out there. There's not a ton, but we wanted to do something different with Jiros. We wanted to like redesign him a little bit, make him look a little more, frankly, like Americanized, like beef him up a little bit, change how the frill looks so that it kind of grows out of his neck as opposed to being attached, and a bunch of stuff. And Tsuburaya was cool with it. So we're like, all right, let's do this. There have been other times where we've pitched ideas and they're like, no, that's a bit too crazy for us. But yeah, I think for us, the trick is identifying, because we're like really small fish in a big pond. It's identifying figures that like, okay, what would the other big toy manufacturers not want to touch, but that we think we could, and we think we could pull it off, and we think there's an audience. And Last Dinosaur is a great example of that. Like, I don't think anyone else was chasing that license. So we were like, okay, well, we're going to chase it. And maybe this is an insane idea. Maybe it's a bad idea to do a dinosaur from a made-for-TV movie from the late 70s. But we were like, no, I think people love this guy. I think enough people will show up that for a company of our size, it'll work out. So when it comes to Ultraman,
I mean, there's more Ultraman monsters than there are Pokemon, so it can be really hard to look through and be like, okay, who can we make that is going to be unique enough and interesting enough to like justify a new toy?
Gomez.
Yeah.
Gomez. You already got
Easy.
Jiras?
Easy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of my favorites, but
Yeah.
maybe one day.
It was
You guys-
Shin
That's
Gomez.
it's true,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
hey, we're all talking each other. Sorry. But you kind of touched on it. Like it sounds like and Tsuburaya gives you guys. It sounds like they're pretty open to allowing a little liberty here and there. Is that which is
For them,
kinda
it
nice.
depends entirely on the character,
Mhm.
believe it or not. So like liberty with a little liberty with Jiros,
Mhm.
takes them back and forth, but it's doable. But like, I don't know, someone like probably Balton or like Ultraman himself, they're more protective of, and they're like, no, he's like you've got to measure the distance between the eyes has to be this ratio, and like the chin, they'll get really specific about it.
These are all things that I think people who buy this stuff do not ever take into consideration. Believe me, I've been in and out of toy collecting circles my entire life, and there's a lot of people that act like they know what they're talking about, but they've never delved into the world of licensing whatsoever and what goes into it. Arian Tangentially is in there. I had a couple of friends that worked in it, and they, I've heard stories of people like, oh yeah, we wanted to do this kind of like a McFarlane, like a 90s McFarlane figure. And then, we were told no. I'm like, man, I'm like, yeah, because it's not your thing. I'm like, you're making it, but they're protective. It's their IP. They don't want something that's so radically different then why are they giving you the license? So, but the fact that they're willing to give you some wiggle room, that's great. Like I'm happy to see Tsuburaya is like they're gaining traction.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, it feels like they're really I'm starting to see a lot more Ultraman stuff on the American side pop up. And I had I think Arian and I talked about this on our last episode. I'm like, they need to get on like something like Netflix or something. They got to get that library out there. If they can get that, I think that they can truly win over the American fans, because for a lot of us, you guys, we all grew up. It was either there was the American dub of Ultraman, there was Ultra 7 that ran in and out of syndication for years on late night, yes, on TBS, or you had Ultraman Towards the Future, which for many of us, that was our Godzilla 1985. That was like the first Ultraman we were ever introduced to, which, and not enough of that stuff out there, but it's a tangled rights mess. I know that, but.
Well, it's finally like they're listening. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like Ultraman Towards the Future will be coming out on Blu-ray next year from them, which is like great because people have been asking that for a while. And they had to put in a lot of work to like solve that rights mess.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because they understand, hey, like that's really an important series over here, because like that was my first exposure to Ultraman, was Towards the Future. So I think that things are moving positively. Like I was talking to a bunch of my friends about this, and in the last 5 years, there have been more home video releases of Ultraman stuff than like Godzilla and Gamera combined for the last 25 years.
It's
so
incredible.
Like just
Thank you, Tsuburaya.
accessibility. Yeah.
Yep.
Like you can, the fact that if I had told myself 5 years ago, oh yeah, you'll be able to go onto Tubi and you can just watch every Ultraman show, I'd have been like, shut up. Like, no, you can't.
Right? Right? The fact that you can go on the internet and order yourself the last Dinosaur figure in 2025 is crazy.
So
It's mind-blowing.
I think the fact that Kaiju are just more in the popular consciousness in North America and around the world just means that this is the kind of stuff that can happen because of that.
Like people like you who are watching this video and supporting this Kickstarter.
So the Kickstarter, so Chris, you said to December
6th. Yeah.
6th. Okay. And what I don't know how much you can talk, but what's the timetable we looking at for a release? Obviously, it's in 2026, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to predict these things, especially lately. You know, we would love to say
Mm,
should be out by the summer,
mhm,
but you know, we don't know. We try to set realistic expectations. So you know, again, we're collectors ourselves, and we don't want to tell people, oh yeah, March or April, and then it's July. So we haven't quite set anything majorly because again, we have to work with the factories and see how things are with shipping and all that other stuff. So
mhm,
we have our own kind of timeline. Once we
mhm,
have a better grasp of what it realistically will be,
mhm.
then we'll make a more formal announcement. But
And,
we will be this year.
and where can people keep up to date with that right now?
Oh, quite a few places. You can follow us on any of our socials. We are on Twitter, we are on or X, we're on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky. We've got a YouTube. You can follow us on our website. If you look up at Seismic Toys on any social media, that's where you can find us, and you can go to www.seismictoys.com. Also on Kickstarter, simply just search Last Dinosaur, and you'll be able to find the link to order the figure if you want. And again, follow us on social. If you want to make a pledge to the campaign, you want to own this toy, that'd be amazing. We are going to be updating the campaign regularly over the course of the next few months as production begins, as rewards get made, and just various updates throughout. So as we have them, we will be sharing them first with everybody.
So one last question on this. So obviously, if you're backing on the Kickstarter, those is it just a Kickstarter exclusive? So if you pledge on the Kickstarter, that's where you get it, or will you guys be doing a production run for those who didn't pledge?
We will be producing a larger run of figures.
Mhm.
How many exactly, we're not sure yet. Like, it's still going to be a limited edition.
Mhm.
The extra stuff on the Kickstarter, like there's if you back in the next week, so before next Saturday, I think, there's early bird pricing, so that won't be on the, if you purchase it later, and the extras that come with the packages. So if you're getting the I think there's two bundles. There's like a super deluxe bundle, and there's a regular bundle. That stuff will all be Kickstarter exclusive. So that includes a trading card set. It includes a poster that actually has a really cool piece of history. The we got from the Rankin Bass archives. We got to scan the production art for The Last Dinosaur. So back when Arthur Rankin was pitching this film to ABC, he commissioned a piece of art, and he had all the ABC executives in a boardroom, and he had this like easel with a cover on it. He lifted the cover, and this piece of art was there, and he was like, "This is The Last Dinosaur." He explained them the story, and that's what got them to sign on to make the movie. So we scanned a recreation of that piece of art that we got from the archives, and we've turned it into a poster. That's like a Kickstarter exclusive version of the poster. It's a really cool, rarely seen piece of art. And then most exciting is probably the autographs. So that's part of the deluxe set. We managed to get Joan Van Ark, so the star actress of the original film, who played Frankie. You can get a signed print of her and Tatsumi Nikamoto. This is thanks to Takarada Global Agency. Tatsumi Nikamoto was the actor inside the Triceratops suit, and he was also the actor inside the Tyrannosaur suit for some of the more dangerous stunts. And he's a guy who, like, he played Titanosaurus in Terror of Mechagodzilla. He played Ultraman Leo in Ultraman Leo. He was in Zone Fighter. Like, his rap sheet is really cool. We're hoping that this kind of raises his profile and enough people want to see him that he can come to North America, maybe come to something like Kaiju Brooklyn or G-Fest. But you'll get his autograph on an exclusive print as well. So all that exclusive stuff, won't be available post Kickstarter, but yeah, it's I don't know. I was really over the moon that we were able to get all this stuff packaged together for
Same.
the Kickstarter.
Same.
That is an insane package. That's an absolutely insane package, and that is a perfect pitch of why you should be backing this Kickstarter right now, because that sounds like a gift bag that's just bow tied for you, for especially us hardcore kaiju fans out there.
Yeah.
The way I see it is, the Earth is however many billion years old, and you're alive at the exact same time that you can order a Last Dinosaur soft vinyl toy with all these exclusive goods, if you will.
Yeah.
It's just like, how lucky are we to be alive at the same time that this happening?
I've been saying it. We live in a glorious age right now of this fandom. Like, it's never been a better time to be a giant monster fan. It's never been a better time to love Japanese special effects films. This is I tell these kids, appreciate what you got, because it can go away one day. We've all been there. All of us in sitting right now, we've all been there. It has come and gone. We've seen false starts, but right now it is a glorious age. So appreciate it and go back this Kickstarter right now.
Please do it now.
Anything
Stop what
else?
you're doing.
Anything else you want to plug before we head out?
Well, we will be this week. We will be at Designer Con. That's going to be exciting. Alex will actually be bringing the Last Dinosaur figure out to the show. It'll be on display. It'll have its first airing at a convention, so people can come to our table and see it. We will also be at the Japan Society in New York City. Is going to be hosting a Tsuburaya Ultraman stage show that's going to be on November 18th. So that's going to be very exciting as well. If anybody has never seen a stage show of the suits, it's a ton of fun.
All right,
It's
guys.
fun.
Yeah, done and done. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on. You guys are officially our first guests on our YouTube exclusive show. So thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having us, kid. It's a pleasure.
I'm absolutely happy to see you guys succeeding as you are. And for those watching, please go follow these guys. Give them all your love and support, because they deserve it. They make some excellent stuff. And go back that Last Dinosaur Kickstarter, because you saw it here. It's a beautiful figure. Put it on that shelf next to all your other kaiju out there. All right. Well, on that note, that will wrap up our first interview edition of the Koffers News Live. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.